Hello, everybody. We're going to get ready here very soon. So, you know what? Let's test this. It's probably getting chewed up for you guys, probably. Yeah. Well, I stopped it. There it is. Okay. Okay. I think I'm about ready. Mike, are you ready? No, it's okay. We tested that. I could tweet. They probably can't hear you, but they can hear me. Okay, now they can hear you guys.
I mean, that's what matters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just me.
Like, what? Why would they need to listen to anybody else but you?
That's true. Jeff's gonna win the draft anyway, so why do we?
Yeah, why would we do the show?
I agree. I agree.
Okay, great. He's doing this now.
Listen, my idea of making it like anonymous is gaining.
Look, I mean, that would definitely be more fair, but we gotta still, we gotta make a show here.
Yeah, it's more fun when these guys yell at each other.
It's not more fair. It is just as anonymous when we do it on Twitter, and you still lose. Thousands of
Mike
votes.
tweets it out this time.
Yeah, Mike, you can tweet it out. There you go.
I don't want to. I won't need to. I won't need to. Well, I will. I was about to say, I won't need you because I win. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I was saying pre-recorded, and we show it in the live show.
That's just extra work. It's fine. I don't.
It's not extra work.
There's a reason we do the show live.
Yeah, live to tape, baby. It's the way to do it.
They don't let me produce.
Let the producer produce. We keep telling him he's not a producer, but he keeps yelling.
Christian's a producer.
I'm not a producer.
No, I know.
If you want me to be producer.
Oh, cool. Hang on, Rebecca's here. Rebecca, that ice temple sucks in that game. I hate it. It's so bad.
Shit. Wow.
The views of Turbo Sean do not reflect the views.
She murdered Mike the other day. Mess. You want to get murdered by her again?
Rebecca, don't listen to him. He thinks Super Metroid isn't
good. That's a fun dungeon. Get out of here with it.
He doesn't know anything.
Other than that, it's a very good game.
I don't want to fight with Rebecca. She's a stone.
Yeah, she savaged me with Rocket Knight Adventure. I'm still
have fun, I guess.
Have fun, I guess.
That lives rent free in my brain, dude.
I still think about have fun, I guess. I always just made the background of this thing of me as a boomer a picture of Rocket Knight Adventure, but it might have been too meta. Oh, the worst has happened.
The image is like burned into my brain for the.
Have fun. I need to save that tweet in case I ever forget.
Don't worry, I got it saved.
Okay. Yeah, good. I need to see it.
But I think I wanted to make it like the banner for the Discord.
Better make her play that game this summer.
Yeah, there you go.
She'll see it. She'll love it. It's great.
Okay.
You know, somebody pointed this out. I always forget that enjoy is spelled wrong in this cover.
Yeah, I know. I can have one of our CPU fix that. I could probably fix that too.
I was just assuming it's because he didn't have enough room.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It just says E-Joy.
E-Joy. We bring everybody E-Joy
yeah,
here
I don't
on
mind.
the show.
Trust me, I don't care.
It's
I just wanted to make sure.
Electronic enjoyment.
Yes. The electronic enjoyment. Electrical enjoyment.
Yeah, okay. The draft will be the GameCube generation, so it'll be GameCube, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and Xbox.
Oh man, that's
home console only, no handheld.
Oh,
yeah.
Where does the Neo Geo fits in?
That would have been.
It would have been 16-bit, I guess. Really. I mean, it's kind of a weird one. It kind of was. Well, it was, Look, another reason why the Jeff's generations are stupid things work, because it doesn't really work for the Neo Geo.
Listen, I'd say number generations are very stupid. Then if people get very precious about generations, that's also pretty stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Neo Geo
is it's
not really a super, I realize it's a commercial home console.
We're not going to draft any games from the Neo Geo because we don't want to lose.
No, that's true.
Wow. I'm just saying, Mike's list would have looked a little bit better with Metal Slug on there. Just throwing.
Oh, that would have been the big difference. Well, hey, yeah, sure. No, I actually don't believe it. I actually believe there's zero chance I wouldn't have been called a boomer if I had picked Metal Slug, even if there was an immaculate Super Nintendo.
Well, you need one boomer game to rally.
Well, now you need one boomer game.
Now you need the boomer games. Now they're important.
All right, I'm ready. Mike, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let me see. I got this here.
We had a member chat just said hello, gentlemen, but I'll just remember that. I'll just write that down on a little notepad.
Yes, thank you. And then how am I going to bring us into that? You know what? I'll just read it. Okay. And
Bowser is coming.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I fixed it.
Glad we got there.
She's allowed to say it.
Unshaven balls.
Bowser does have those.
Do the podcast.
Okay, thank you.
Never saw the days hurry by when you're in love. My, how time flies. It's blue skies following me. Nothing but blue skies.
All right, I'm going to count us in. We're going to get started. Are you ready? Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go in 5, 4, 3. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb. With me is
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, PS5 Pro rumors are back. Ratchet & Clank may be coming to PC, and it's time to put a boomer in his place once again. Mike Minotti, how are you doing?
I'm good, Jeff. I'm good. I'm expecting to lose this time, and I know you're like, oh, he's doing this. But look, I don't think I can, health-wise, afford to get as angry as I did last time again. I think I may have almost passed out from justifiable, but still excessive anger. So the draft, I get it. You know, people are out to get me. Mm-hmm. It's me versus the world, and sometimes that's a fight you can't win. That's okay. I'll still be doing my best. But look, everybody is wrong but me.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
People who vote for me.
I do want to point out, you have been thinking about this all week. Like you told me last night, or like maybe Tuesday, that this is what we're doing this week. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds good. But then you informed me at the time that it's like you've basically been thinking about it constantly. And then I see the thumbnail tonight, and it's just about this as well. So clearly, this is consuming you.
It is, but I want to be clear. I haven't been pre-planning my picks or anything. I kind of consider that cheating. I haven't been like looking at the best games list from this generation or anything like that. I've been doing nothing different. But yes, the thought of this happening again has been a heavy burden on my mind.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't want to like delay us getting there, so maybe we should just get into the show. Is that what we should do?
Let's do the show. It'll be a good time because we got some news and stuff. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. We'll get into all that, but first I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. If you want to ask a question, you could do so by dropping a super chat during the show. We will get to all of those before the end. Thank you to Carlos Sain, who's Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button here on YouTube. It helps people find the show. Thank you to the mods, and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to the private channels in our Discord, the monthly Q&A, 1 month early access to our Jeopardy game, participation in our monthly game club discussions. This month we are discussing a Minish Cap. So if you wanted to, you got that on your Switch, play that. Come discuss it with us here at the end of the month. And of course, it also gets you all of our shows ad-free. So a lot of bonus stuff there, but also it just means a lot to us. And again, as people have been supporting us over the last few months, it's and the Patreon slowly growing, it means a lot. We really appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, I got some big topics from the week I want to discuss with you. Let's get into it here with the PS5 Pro rumors returning once again. We've heard discussion of this previously. They were a little bit more nebulous than they are now. Insider Gaming is reporting that basically a PS5 Pro is really in the works, and it's really in the works to come out late in 2024. The idea here apparently is that this would be a dual threat strategy where this PS5 Pro would come along the same time as a, maybe not a slimmer model, but a redesigned version of the full-fledged PS5 that just would not have a disk drive at all, just like the digital version. But that would go in the other tier, and then you could attach an external drive to that, and it would slim things down. It would be a little bit cheaper for Sony to manufacture, but then there would be this Pro model to go alongside that. It also apparently is going to have improved ray tracing performance, at least according to a patent that Mark Cerny filed recently. The thinking here, Mike, is that a PS6 is not going to come until 2028, and so this is a means of bridging the gap to then. My question to you is, do they need to bridge the gap? Is there a gap here to even bridge?
It doesn't really feel like it, Jeff. The PlayStation 5 seems plenty powerful enough. We are only just now really starting to get a steady stream of games that are actually PlayStation 5 exclusive. I mean, the most recent big PlayStation 5 game still also came out on PlayStation 4. It still feels like there's plenty of room for PlayStation 5 games to look better than they have before. It's not like Gotham Knights wasn't running at 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5 because the hardware wasn't powerful enough, right? A lot of it is just kind of coming in down to production and how expensive it is and how hard it is to make games. And I don't know if making a better system is going to suddenly help with that. Is it going to help maybe with some tricks like ray tracing? Sure. How excited are people by ray tracing? It was a bit of a buzzword when the consoles were launching. I think everybody turned it on to look at it in Spider-Man for a hot second. I've had a lot of people then just went back to playing the game in 60 FPS, or I know eventually that game had a frame rate mode.
Yes,
honestly,
frame rate ray tracing mode. Yeah, and that was cool, but it came months later.
Yeah, and it's like Insomniac's the only one who really figured out how to even do ray tracing and like a good frame rate on.
And that was always like reflections too, and it was like ray tracing is supposed to be so much more. It's supposed to be global illumination, all of the lights in the world behaving the way real light does. And when games do that, it's really tough on performance.
Yeah, I guess the one thing is that and I said this when the consoles launched, I still find it annoying that I even have to pick between a performance mode and a fidelity mode. So, well,
then you want a PS5 Pro, right? Then I have to make those choices.
I guess that would be the one benefit of it. I don't know if I care that much about it, Jeff, that I or anybody is going to have much of an appetite for even thinking about a $500, $600 upgrade. It's just, and I know we had this last time. Last time was just so different with these systems coming in kind of weak. There was not a lot of faith that consoles were going to sell like they did. Then surprise, they were selling just fine. The whole, gaming is dead. It's all been disrupted by mobile games forever thing was overblown. Then also, they didn't come in to support 4K. They didn't think it'd be that much of a thing. Well, then it was a thing. So yeah, we needed a mid-gen refresh. Yeah, so if they make these, it'll probably be fine. But I think it might rub a lot of people the wrong way who spent a long time finding a PlayStation 5 or just now able to get one, dropping big money for it, and now that's already obsolete. I think that's gonna be a tough pill for people to swallow.
Yeah, I think the reality on the ground is much different than it was at this point in the generation last time when the PS4 was dominant and was doing very well. We did not have those several years of people unable to get a PS4. And then when we were getting the PS4 in those early years, it was also clear that it was getting games pretty quickly there. I mean, it took a couple years, but at this point we were already getting Bloodborne, and there were a lot of big promises. And it's like, okay, this is cool. And then those games were coming out, and they were running 30 frames per second. They didn't even have really performance modes because it's like that was something that did come with the PS4 Pro. So that is something that's built in here. We're kind of already on the Pro models out of the gate here because these systems are so powerful. But really, we talk about like what we want, what we need, like the things that would be nice, that would convince us. It's like, okay, that does factor in, but really it comes down to what Sony needs, what Sony wants, and what Sony can get away with. Like we say that on the show all the time. They do what they can get away with. And last time they could get away with the PS4 Pro because the PS4 was falling in price, so they were going to slot something back into that $400 price point. And also 4K TVs were becoming very popular. And that was a very easy buzzword because people bought in on 4K. They believed in 4K. And so having a 4K console come out, that was something that Sony could act on, and then Xbox eventually acted on it as well. That is just, there's nothing like that this time. Right now, most people just upgraded their TVs at the beginning of this generation to get HDMI 2.1 or 2.2, whatever it is. And it's that has all the features that really you're going to need to the end of this generation. That could even get you 8K at, I think, 30 frames per second, if not 60 frames per second. So people are not like feeling like, oh man, my console's lagging way behind my display technology or whatever. I wish I could take advantage of all this stuff. No, we are already doing this. And if one thing is lagging behind in that chain there, it's the TV, not the console. So I'm trying to figure out what the buzzword is here for this time for them to sell this console on, and nothing is like really apparent. Especially we talk about ray tracing, that is not going to sell consoles to people. But that doesn't necessarily mean they won't pull this trigger.
Maybe they'll make up something like blast processing,
right? And Nintendo does this, right? Nintendo's always done this with I bought the new 3DS because of the nub. I never used that fucking thing in any game. I never used the new 3DS's right analog nub.
I was like, what are you talking about? Oh,
yeah,
right, yeah. I remember I think it was nice when I went back and tried Snake Eater 3D again, because then you could actually like move the camera around with it. So yay!
I tried that, and I don't know if it was working for me. So I'm not.
For Revelations, that Resident Evil.
I think it definitely worked. One of those Resident Evils, yes.
Yeah, small cases.
Yeah, but it was like, okay, so but the point is like that little thing that they put on there convinced me, someone who's a diehard Nintendo fan, to get another new system after I'd already bought a couple of new 3DSs at that point, or a couple of, not new, like capital N new 3DSs, but a couple of 3DSs throughout the generation there. I bought yet another one because they just put a few things in there that made the other one feel obsolete, even though that actually wasn't the case. Sony, any of these companies can do that. It's just, I think they would much rather, and this is just my opinion, but I think they would much rather just take the profit from selling the same exact system, even if they put a new chip in there, just making it smaller, making it cheaper to manufacture, add some more storage, and call it a day. And I mean, they could sell that. They can keep selling this thing with more storage at $500. I think $550 going forward for years and years and years without, I think, really seeing much slowdown in sales.
Yeah, I mean, well, that'll help them with just continuing to sell thing. I guess the problem is you're not gonna have people, quote unquote, upgrading, really. So maybe you need to think of something kind of bullshit like the Switch OLED, where there's just the one thing that's going to give people some excuse to OLED.
Yes.
Something a little flashy. Maybe that's all they need, is just something a little flashy.
I don't
know if they really need to make this kind of giant hardware boost. I don't know. I always wonder what Microsoft thinks of this. If they want to do a system refresh, and if now they're feeling like pressured, well, we gotta like develop one just in case. We can't be caught with our pants down here. If Sony is going to do one, then we are also going to have to do one.
Yeah, I think, I mean, maybe that professional moniker is a bit more flexible than what we're thinking. Maybe this is exactly what we're describing and what Sony's working on is, yeah, we might refer to it as a PS5 Pro, but that's because it's going to look sleeker and smaller and have twice or maybe like 3 or 4 times the storage. And it's going to so it's like professional, like you need this thing for your professional needs, whatever that means. Maybe that's exactly what they're making.
Horizon Forbidden West needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Not my recreational ones.
Yeah, but it's and if there's any power enhancements, it's like, oh yeah, like we do have the new system on a chip in there, and it's more efficient. And mostly we use that to increase loading times even more. Like there's none already, but they're even faster in older games.
System? Like what the Neo Geo was, something they don't expect the average consumer to buy.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I think that the Pro model has already been proven to be a thing that like people like don't really think about what that means. And it's like I think they can get away with it this time. It's just like, oh, like the new 3DS, which just had like a slight CPU boost, or even like the Xbox One S. Like that had an improved CPU and it didn't really do much, but it was like, people were like, maybe I'll get that. I mean, I don't know why, but the One X is coming soon, but people did get it. So,
Yeah. It's just, if the Switch can get by with basically no upgrades and be there for 8 years or more, it just seems silly to me to have to think about that for the PlayStation 5, which it's games, they have to look good enough. I don't know. And I don't know. I guess I'm just against it because I just kind of find it a little bit exhausting. I know it happened last time. I know the reasons why it happened last time.
But we wanted it last time. I don't think we wanted it this time.
We wanted it last time. And maybe there's people who want it. I'm sure there are. I'm sure people who think, hey, new hardware is always exciting. Sure. And they'll be, hey, this is just more options for the consumers. It's a good thing. I think it's riskier than that this time. And I think it has a chance to backfire. And, these companies they're always... Especially Sony is so close from being very vulnerable with a big mistake. And that could be a big mistake. I'm not saying it would be, but it could be.
Yeah, it's really hard to place it. And are they going to be taking those risks? I think the one part of the story that is 100% true is that these companies both are making some sort of mid-generation refresh inside of these companies.
Sure.
What else would those hardware teams be working on? Of course they're looking at that. And either they release them and great, all right, we did all that work for that. Or they don't release them and they're like, okay, we've been building iterations. We learned about what technology is like right now, and we could take that forward into whatever we actually end up doing next, which is exactly what Nintendo is doing after like testing their mid-gen refresh with like what they were going to have, the Switch Pro or whatever, the Super Switch, and likely that thing that they were working on is not going to be the thing we finally get. It's going to be some sort of mutant version of that. So, yeah. All right, moving on. PlayStation's next PC port may be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. A Nixie's job posting asks for an engineer familiar with coherent middleware. That's capital C, coherent. Rift Apart used that middleware, so I think it's an easy assumption there that is probably what Nixie's is working on. Maybe not next, but probably not too far off from next. Like that's starting to line up and be like, oh, that is almost 3 years ago here pretty soon. That's going to end up on PC here after not too long. I mean, Returnal was around the same time, and that is already on PC.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's still probably my favorite PlayStation 5 game, Jeff. I love Drift Apart. That'll be interesting because that is like straight up a PlayStation 5 only game. And that was one that really was going nuts with the SSD there. And now it's going to have to run on PCs that maybe don't have an SSD, right?
Yeah, I think
Can you make that a requirement for PC games these days?
I think you can make a requirement for the top that max values of like, here's what you're going to want to have if you want the game to run perfectly right. But what they have been doing, I think, instead of saying have an SSD like an NVMe SSD, they usually say you need to have 32 gigabytes of RAM instead of just 16. And you could solve most of these problems with 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's like a good workaround, especially on PC. That's becoming a little bit more common. I think one of the recent games that came out, it didn't run great on PC, but it did have a 32 gigabyte high quality requirement. So it's like, okay, that's probably what they'll end up doing for this, even if they haven't already worked around a solution. Because really, was that different than things we've seen in games before? It wasn't that different. We saw that
presented really well, I guess.
Right? Yeah, we saw kind of similar stuff happen in Titanfall 2 and in other games. Definitely, it was more impressive, and it was clearly they were swapping in more than ever, for sure. But I don't think it's some impossible thing that could be accomplished in no other way other than having the super duper fast NVMe, storage solution.
No, that's exactly right. But yeah, that's I'm excited for people who haven't played that yet. I wonder how. I want to say I'd be excited to see that on Steam Deck. I don't know how well that's going to be able to run on a Steam Deck, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Like we'll see. I mean, the thing about the Steam Deck is it's all one. It's the cache of memory. So it's like the CPU and the GPU are all using the same memory together, just like a console. So maybe there's some hope that they could figure that out on there as well.
SSDs though. Well, some of them. Those are the cheapest model. Not having SSD.
Yes, they just use. But I mean, that's the CPU on that's so good that it's really good at bringing stuff off of the flash memory. If it's not Ratchet and Clank, what's the next PC port from PlayStation to PC?
Demon's Souls, right?
I think so.
Demon's Souls. Well, Ghost of Tsushima is kind of the last big PlayStation 4.
That's right. Ghost of Tsushima has got to be coming very soon. I mean, especially if we get into this showcase here that's going to happen before E3, and Ghost of Tsushima 2 is like one of the big games there. I think they might announce at the same time. And Ghost of Tsushima 1 is coming to PC in a month or something like that. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I'll be excited to see. I'll be more excited for like that sequel than like, the Horizon sequel or even the God of War sequel. Even though like Ghost of Tsushima wasn't necessarily my favorite of those PlayStation 4 games, I thought it was the one with the most potential and probably the one I had like some of the best highlight moments with. It was a fun game.
Ridge Racer Type 4 is coming to PlayStation Plus. Mike, we did it! Woo! Let's fucking go!
Ridge Racer, Ridge Racer.
This is part of a really good update to PS Plus for the extra tier Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, Chia Day 1, which in a preview capacity, I will continue to say I'm very impressed by. Rainbow Six Extraction. Yes, it's the one that's like looks like Wind Waker and actually is much more like Breath of the Wild. Very impressive stuff from a very tiny team with a really good vibe of like stuff that's sort of inspired by New Caledonia off the which is an island off of Australian coast. It's very cool. Rainbow Six Extraction, Ghostwire Tokyo, Life is Strange, True Colors, Immortals, Phoenix Rising, Life is Strange 2, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Kakarot, you said it right. Good job.
What did I say earlier? Earlier today was when I said this. Was it
Kakarot or something? Yeah.
Kakarot.
Said the word cock for sure.
Dragon Ball Z Cock, Street Fighter V Championship Edition, Untitled Goose Game, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Rage 2, Neo The World Ends With You, and Haven, which is not the game with the red cornrows. So
Right.
That's pretty good for the extra tier.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll check out Street Fighter V. I'm so excited for 6. I can get some practice in. Maybe learn how to use the D-pad because I've been yelled at for using an analog stick instead. Maybe I'll see if I can get into that. But yeah, Ridge Racer Type 4 with finally we got that and Ridge Racer 2 from PSP.
Yep.
The Ridge Racer love is real.
And a lot of PSP love for the premium tier. In addition to Ridge Racer Type 4, it's Ape Academy 2, which is a sequel Ape Escape party game. And then Siphon Filter. I'm like, that's weird. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror also coming. That's a lot of Siphon Filter games on premium as well. So
I never got into those games.
Dan really likes them, so I keep like, oh yeah, maybe I'll find a way to try them out or something. But I never cared. I was like, okay, that looks pretty silly, but all right.
Everyone should play Ridge Racer Type 4 and then apologize to me for not voting for my PlayStation era console when I had it.
You got bigger things to worry about tonight, Mike.
I knew that's true.
You got tonight to worry about. You're never gonna get those back, but tonight you could still win. Final Fantasy creator on why he thinks quality Japanese games saw a brief drop. This is a story I saw over on Kotaku that I thought was pretty interesting, especially coming out of that the JRPG talk and everyone freaking out about how everyone was so mean back then to Japanese games. In my perception, Mike, it was always Inafune who was criticizing Japanese games back then.
There was a lot of that. I mean, it was, look, I didn't want to talk about this because at the time too much, emotions were very charged.
Yes.
But everybody knew that, there was a shift there. And of course, this is a generalization, and it's not like every Japanese game was bad, but the Japanese games were like generally worse than they used to be.
And it wasn't like some failing of the race of Japanese people. That was the craziest thing that people took it that way. And I didn't really even see that many people imply that. Really, I feel like there was like a couple times where people were a little bit like harsh and would use like a hard J when they were saying Japanese games. It's like, okay, chill out with that. And then obviously the Phil Fish would say stuff years later, and that was like...
Phil Fish said a lot of things.
Exactly. And it's like, well, Phil Fish is a clown. Like, who gives a fuck what Phil...
We don't respect him.
In my perception, it was always Oh yeah, things shifted on them. They were making games one way for 30 goddamn years, and they were very used to that stuff. And then suddenly HD came out at the same time that consoles were being manufactured in a different way. And the one Japanese system that they wanted to make games for had the goddamn cell processor. Big surprise that the Japanese developers struggled at that time a little bit. And so that's almost exactly what let's see, this is Sakaguchi and Koji Igarashi.
Sakaguchi's son.
This is basically exactly what he said. He said specific Japanese made consoles made it easier for Japanese developers to master the hardware, as we could ask Nintendo or Sony directly in Japanese. This is why I realized it might be impolite to say this. It's also just true. Japanese games were of a higher quality at the time. As a result, Japanese games were regarded as more fun, but when the hardware became easier to develop for, things quickly changed. Castlevania, and this is no longer a quote, Igarashi added that the long history of PC culture, like personal computer culture in the West, made the Western studios better adapted for the way things changed, especially in that era when the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One and PS4 came along. But by Xbox One and PS4, very quickly, Japanese developers were like caught on and had figured it out. And then we started getting From Software games that were just, dominating the world by the end of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation. So, yeah.
Right. It's so far from even being a problem anymore. Like, the parity has been reached again. Honestly, like, you say a lot of times, generally, I'll maybe take the game from Japan. I mean, what are the two biggest games coming out this year, Jeff? We got Resident Evil 4 Remake and Zelda. You could probably throw Street Fighter in there also, Final Fantasy 16.
Yep.
So,
and it's
it was a problem, and we know why it was. And, it kind of, I remember it sucked at the time because I did like a lot of those Japanese franchises, and it was like, some of this stuff is looking kind of rough. And even, Final Fantasy 13, I think, is a good poster child for this. And I like that game, and I defend that game, but it is
there was still a lot to like about all these games that did have problems as well, right?
Sure, yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's definitely a difference from, Capcom releasing, Dark Void and stuff like that compared to the Capcom that was just nothing but mega hit after mega hit after mega hit in the SNES and PlayStation eras.
Yeah, and it was like a little surprised that once, I mean, obviously at the same time, mobile gaming was drawing attention away and causing a different concerns in Japan. So it was like this perfect storm. And then so Inafune and people like Sakaguchi and now Igarashi are kind of like looking around and just being like, what are we doing over here? Why can't we figure this out? And it's like, it just took a little bit of time. And now if you want to like look for an example of how this is still happening, look at the Pokemon company, look at Game Freak. And they did not get used to making HD games until now. And, obviously they've made a few at this point, but they are still struggling just figuring that out. Now they've struggled making 3DS goddamn games, but
yeah,
but yeah.
Sure did.
Yep.
Sakaguchi is a good person to talk about this because he was in that situation. He was making big expensive JRPGs for the Xbox 360.
Yep.
And he kind of talks about it. It's like, it was just difficult. Like, all of a sudden there's a language barrier that you never had when you were working with Nintendo and PlayStation and all this stuff. It was challenging.
Yep.
Although, by all accounts, I haven't actually played it yet myself. Lost Odyssey slaps, so I need to get to that.
People love Lost Odyssey. I know some people really like Blue Dragon too. So
really, yeah, Blue Dragon usually has a harder time of it.
Yes, I know, but people seem to really like Lost Odyssey. So but I'm always surprised by the Blue Dragon Defenders as well. But it's like, I don't know, it was always a cute looking game. I always wanted it to do well.
It was always weird how Dragon Questy it was to me from the guy who brought you Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah. All right. You know what, Mike? I think that's going to do it for the news this week. If anyone else wants to talk about anything, be sure to send in a super chat. We'll talk about whatever you want to bring up. In the meantime, though, Mike, I got something important to talk to you about.
Please lay it on me, Jeff. I'm ready.
Make sure the music's playing. Mike, I've got an important public service announcement to make. Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. Go ahead and tell the world the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with the revolutionary grooming products.
Balls. That's the South Pole.
Yes, and the North Pole is your nose holes and your ear holes, and we're going to get into that with the Weed Whacker 2.0. And their new beard line confirms they have all the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your game by going to manscaped.com and using your code MESS for 20% off plus free shipping. Mike, I just got my Weed Whacker 2.0 in the mail today. Have you gotten yours yet?
No, mine's probably coming very soon.
Yeah.
I am excited because it was the one thing that wasn't plugged in with USB-C. I remember at the time. So this version, I believe, is a USB-C device. So that is exciting. So you can just charge these things with a lot of those cables that you have for basically all of your other electronics at this point, which makes it easier at home, makes it a lot easier when traveling.
They reached out. They're like, okay, hey, you guys did great on the ad reads. What else do you want? I said, give me that Preserve cologne. They send that over.
Ooh.
So this is like kind of got that similar scent as the ball preserver. And
now you can smell just like your balls. Okay, maybe that's not a great ad.
But we promise that it's good. I promise that's a good thing. I wish I smelled like my balls all over because the preserve is so good.
Exactly.
You cute packaging.
You saw my starcher cologne today. It's running low, so yeah, I definitely need some new ones soon.
Weed Whacker 2.0, which I think does have USB Type C. That's incredible. And then the ultra smooth package to really just that smoothness needs to be off the chart. I'm very excited
like a
about that.
Straight up razor.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, it looks really comfortable. You know what it looks like? Looks like the kinds of razor that I borrow from my wife that I'm like, oh yeah,
Yes.
this is way more convenient. And but it's black. So I'm pretty sure it means it's manly.
Yeah, now it's for men, and that's good.
Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the cordless electric Beard Hedger. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to a single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. Dan was mentioning, he's like talking to me the other day. He's like, yeah, your mustache doesn't get in your mouth like mine. I'm like, Dan, you're a mess. And I've got a code for you, by the way. And I'm gonna slide this over to you.
We saw his beard getting all up in his ramen too. Yeah, he's a messy boy. We might need to set him up. We might need to help him.
Yeah, might have set him up over there. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 haircutting lengths, all with one guard, so no messy drawers full of extra add-ons, which is my favorite part. It really is. Because I cannot stand having those beard trimmers that I would buy it at Meijer or whatever, and I'm like, okay, this is the thing that I'm going to use to just like keep things, in check. And then it became this thing I had to like manage because it's like all these little pieces everywhere. And if I would go on one trip and I take the beard trimmer, now things are separated and I lose things. You can't lose anything with this.
Whole bag just of that stuff, just of all the different clips and whatnot.
The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors. Also, the Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. Now that you have your face for looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0, which of course we've talked about a lot here before. It's got a ton of great stuff in it. Performance Package 4.0 has the Lawnmower 4.0, or 4.0. Maybe be sure to check that out. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all your bases, if you know what I mean.
Especially your balls base.
The base of your balls, the sides of your balls, and all the angles of your balls, you're going to be able to take care of it with these products. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code MESS. That's MESS at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping worldwide, manscaped.com, with the use of our code MESS. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Shave your balls with the stuff we want you to buy.
All right. Okay, let's we'll come back into this here pretty soon, but if you need to take a break right now, Mike, you can.
I'm good.
Yep.
Ready.
All right. So what we're going to do is, Sean, if you wouldn't mind getting that ready, you could pop in now or as we're getting finishing up the super chats. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back, Mike, you're going to read the super chats, then we're going to do the Bob's latest game, and that's the Metacritic guessing game, closest to the pen. And then we're going to go into the draft. So everybody stick around. We're getting right back into the show. I'm excited to try this cologne. Okay. Let's see here.
Everyone says my old version looks like looks a bit like MVG. It's funny.
Okay, Mike, let's go ahead and get back into it. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Mike, we have some super chats from the audience. Would you mind reading those, please?
Yes, sir. First one here is actually from our Lincoln member. It's Xcore who just says, "Hello, gentlemen."
Hey,
Well, hello to
Xcore.
you.
Thank you so much for the
Thank you.
support, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for being a
He's
member.
been a long-time supporter, and he's always showing up in the Twitch chats. Just great guy.
It's Burrito says, "F and GG to Boomer Mikey."
That's right. Can I get F's in chat for Mikey tonight? For Boomer Mikey?
Oh, and I'm the Boomer. F's in chat. You think kids say that anymore? There's no way.
Look, there's one.
I understand the kids.
Turbo Sean's like
now,
19. He's doing it.
Because you told him to. They're all sheep.
Nick said that in my chat like 2 days ago.
Oh God! Of course, of all the things that are still around, it's F's in chat. Lossian says, "When will Mike's Twitch sub get access to Discord?" I don't know.
We've worked on that a whole bunch.
Yeah, me and Christian have both sat down with Mike to try to get this to work for like hours total. And sorry, we can't get to work.
Yeah, if I ever told you that, like, if you ever got a subscription to my Twitch because I said that was going to happen, let me know. I will personally refund you or something.
No. If that's happened, we'll get you in. We'll get you a thing for at least for a little bit, so you can get those channels for a little bit. We'll get you a temporary role, so you can at least try it out for a month or two. So there you go. Let us know. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say any more super chats.
There's one more. The Uncharted Wolf says, "Opening Pandora's box here. What did Phil Fish say?" Well, it's like some PAX panel or something, and
he was just like, he's on a PAX panel. He's up on stage. He's got a bunch of people around him, and he's basically just like, Japanese games suck, like that.
Yeah, completely like non-diplomatic about it. I think there was even Japanese developers there. It was it was weird. It was also maybe a smidge overblown. Why do we have to care that much about what Phil Fish says? But
and it's it was kind of it was definitely overblown. But also he's a famous dick. No one likes Phil Fish. Like it's just that's the case. It's I sort of don't even really have an opinion on him anymore. But it was like he's a dick. You don't have to listen to him. But whatever.
Remember when he announced Fez 2 and then like quit all of gaming the next day or something?
Yeah, and it was still like the fallout from that. Now listen, I don't blame him for quitting because just mentioning anything tangentially related to this was just nothing but Gamergaters in my mentions being like, oh my God, everyone's so racist against Japanese developers. I'm like, what are you talking about? Please just shut the hell up. But wait, whatever. He was kind of an asshole, so if people want to be mad at him, that's his own problem. He's got to deal with that. Okay, so all caught up on the super chats. Sean, let's go ahead and get into this game. Why don't you stream it over here, and I'll go figure out how to bring this up.
Oh, we're ready. We're just waiting on you.
Okay, there's that.
What game is this, Jeff? This isn't the console draft yet, huh?
No, this is closest to the messy pen. Like I said, I pretty much explained this to you 3 or 4 times tonight that we're doing this first. But if you want to me to explain it again
to the audience, perhaps that's fine. That's good.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get it. Okay. Do you want to explain it while I get it set up? That'd be helpful.
I mean, the host could explain it if you want him to do that.
Okay, Sean, would you mind?
All I did was say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then Jeff came out and attacked me. It was mean to me. I don't know. Actually, I don't feel like
Jeff
explaining
Grubb,
it.
known asshole, just being a complete jerk to his friends. How dare
we shouldn't vote for him if there's like a poll later. We have to choose between him and somebody else.
Okay.
I think that'd be a
Sean, go ahead and explain to the people what we're doing.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to everyone's favorite game show within a podcast. That's right. It is once again time for Closest to the Messy Pin, a Bop original powered by Metacritic. If you're new to the show, let me give you a quick rundown on the rules. This is a Metacritic prediction game. I'm going to give these guys 5 titles total. For each one, they will be given the information of what year it came out, what platform we are talking about the reviews for, and how many reviews there are on the website Metacritic. They will be trying to guess the Metacritic score of that game and getting as close to the pin as possible on that one. So it's golf rules, hence the golf pun. The further deviated you are from the correct score, you will be gaining that many points. And at the end is golf rules. The idea is that you want the lowest score possible. You might think to yourself, what happens if I get exactly right? Well, gentlemen, you get 5 points reduced from your overall score. So it's a very high risk, high reward strategy if you need to get ahead from behind or if you want to secure the lead on your opponent. Does that all make sense to you?
Yes, but let's establish it right now. If someone really believes in their core that the score is the same thing that the other person already said, they are allowed to say the same score.
Okay. All right,
It's a
that's
risk
fine.
reward because like if you both get it right,
Yeah.
okay. But if it's wrong,
Gains
yeah,
to be made there.
yeah.
I think that's a dumb rule, but if you both agree on it, then fine, we'll play it that way.
I don't care.
All right. Well, that being said, we're alternating here. Mike won the first one, Jeff won the second one. Here we are in game number 3 of our ongoing series here. Because Mike lost last time, that means Mike will get to choose the score first this time. So he gets to step
Yay.
the standard. Mike, I need you to tell me what you think the current Metacritic score is for Ridge Racer Type 4, released on the Sony PlayStation in 1999, May 1st specifically. This score is based on 18 critic reviews currently on Metacritic.com.
It should be like a 98, but I want to say I think that it's not a ton of scores. I want to say an 89. I think it's an 89.
Ooh, Mike's going high, 89.
I locked mine in my brain as an 88 right before you said that, but let me think.
I almost said 88 myself.
I'm gonna go 88. 88 feels right. I think it would really struggle to get into the 90s. I would love it to be in the 90s, but I think it's an 88.
I think that was a time where they would just almost never let a racing game that wasn't Gran Turismo get
Right,
into the
especially
90s.
a fourth one.
Interesting logic. Well, gentlemen, the current score for Ridge Racer Type 4 is 88.
Yes!
Jeff gets it exactly right.
God.
Starting out with
I
a
almost said
5
88.
under.
So upsetting.
And Mike
so
gains
upsetting.
only 1 point. Only 1 point.
Yeah,
Not too bad there.
I
Not
think
too
this
bad.
happened last time, and you almost still won, Mike.
Something like that. It got close. It
Almost
did.
still won.
You guys did tie it up, not only in the
Right.
first game, but in the last game
Yep.
as well. This is
Yeah.
correct.
All right. Let's do this next.
All right. Game number 2 is Picross 3D on the Nintendo DS, May 3rd, 2010. This is based on 35 critic reviews. Jeff, is your turn to pick the first score.
I think this is really high because people were really enamored with this. So I'm going to go with 89.
Jeff is going with the 89.
I don't think it's that. I'm gonna go with 84.
Mike's only going 84, a little bit lower. Still,
You
a
ever
good
played Picross
score.
3D?
I keep
Go
trying to pick
fuck
cross.
you.
I don't. I never quite get it. I don't get it. I'll be honest. Somebody asked, like, "What's a game you don't get?" I think last week we could say Picross. I don't really
Wait,
understand.
Picross as a whole, not just 3D?
Yeah, it's like okay, yeah.
Oh, dude, I played every Nintendo Picross game, not 3D though, because I thought it seemed a little daunting. But
No, it's great.
Picross games are excellent. Anywho, gentlemen, the score on Metacritic.com is currently sitting at a 83.
Oh, I almost said
really
83.
close, Mike.
I should have said 83. Both times I had the right one as my first guess, and then I thought too much about it. Okay, I gotta go.
All
with
right,
that.
really close now.
Suddenly things are a lot closer
Yep,
now.
that's all it
Mike has
takes.
2 points on the board. Jeff is only 1 lower at 1 point.
Should have been 89 though. Oh, that game's great.
Game number 3 is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Now, specifically, we are talking about the Dreamcast home release, October 4th, 2000. This is based on 15 critic reviews, and we are going back to the fighting game fan on the panel tonight. Mike, how do you think Third Strike did on the Dreamcast?
This is a hard one. I want to say 87. 7 was my first thought. 87. I'm gonna go 87.
Mike is going with 87. Jeff, what are you thinking here?
Let me rationalize this out a little bit. My gut says 90, but that means if it's like an 8, well, yeah, I'm gonna go 90. 90's good.
All right, Jeff is going with an even round 90. Now, audience, I would like to point out that I actually do not know these scores. I don't want to give any sort of hints.
So
accidentally or
double
anything
blind,
like that.
double blind,
It's
quiz
double
here.
blind. That being said, my rationale here is I'm curious what this scored because Third Strike was a game that was a slight slow burn. People were down on the Street Fighter 3 series initially,
They were.
and then Third Strike became the popular one. So
Right.
curious to see where it ended up. These guys are only 3 points away from each
but
other. This could go to anyone.
And
here.
these reviews are over time too, right? So
most of them are of the time. It's
Okay.
rare for one of these games to get a review from outside that time.
It's a good port of one of the best fighting games ever. You think it would be really high, but
I think it'd be really high. We'll see.
Well, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on the Dreamcast got an 83.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
That's just, I mean,
that's just wrong.
And same score as Picross 3D.
For one of the greatest fighting games of all time.
Picross 3D was also wrong at 83.
I'm winning.
I needed that -5 at the start.
That's right. Mike has come from behind. It is 6 points on the board for him to Jeff's 8 points on the board. Suddenly, Mikey's in the lead. Not by much, though. It's still a close game. And we still got 2 games to go. Number 4 being Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, release 4. We are talking about the PS3 release. Keep that in mind. February 19th, 2013. And we have 61 critic reviews.
That's a lot.
Jeff, it is your pick.
Yeah, I am going to go with the score of the night, 83.
Keeping it on brand. All right.
Yes.
Consistency. Interesting. Mikey, now me and you are very familiar with this game after a couple of months ago, eh?
Yeah, I think I did look up the score at the time, and I remember being surprised it was as low as it was. I want to say 81.
Mike's locking in 81. A little bit lower there, but still in the ballpark.
You can do it, I believe.
81, there we go. Okay. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Game number 4. Also, my 4th favorite game of all time, so I'm going to be crushed here if it's anything lower than an 80. Has a score of 80!
Ooh,
all right,
okay.
Metacritic, you did. You barely snuck it in there.
All right.
Okay.
Mike gets 1 point on the board.
I just got to get this exactly right.
You get exactly right. That's going to be really good for you because Mike is slowly clawing his way downward, I guess it would be. He is now in the lead with 7 points to Jeff's 10. 3 points between them. The final game where Mike will have the privilege of going first. Game number 5 is The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, the original GameCube release, March 24th, 2003, based on 80 critic reviews.
93.
93.
That's really
nice
good.
and high there.
Yeah, I don't feel great about this, so I feel like I have to. I'm gonna say 94.
Ooh, interesting.
That could be it. Very easily.
Yeah, it could easily be 93 or 92 though.
I'm curious simply because of the discourse at the time potentially drawing that down a little bit.
There were some
Yes,
people
there
who
definitely
just
was. Yeah.
We're still not won over.
But I mean, yeah, like drawing it down from like the typical Zelda, like 96, right?
Yeah, exactly. That Wind Waker got like 80s from some people, and Twilight Princess got 80s from some people, and people freaked out.
I'm not gonna be at all surprised if this is anything anywhere in the low 90s, because like it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker currently has a Metacritic score of 96.
Shit. I fucking
so good.
I talked
That's so
myself
good
out of
for me.
saying 96. Man.
Okay, man, higher than I thought. Well, good for Wind Waker. Good.
Yeah.
That means that Mike has 10 points on the board. Jeff has 12 points on the board. Gentlemen, that was all the games, which means Mikey is your winner tonight.
Mikey's starting winning. He's not going to stop.
You did stop the last time we played this, though. You won this, and then you lost the draft. So.
That is true. Yeah, as I
Shut the
mentioned
hell up.
multiple times, they alternate here. So,
All right. Sean, thank you so much. You want to tell people where they can find you?
Of course, on Twitter at TurboSean_, and on Twitch and now YouTube as TurboSean. Hey, over on the YouTube channel, I got quite a few Pokemon videos up. Just a pack opening for the latest Pokemon set, Crown Zenith. And starting potentially as early as tomorrow, I'm going to start uploading my Star Fox series playthrough. Starting with Star Fox 1. It was a hugely awesome thing to do over on Twitch. I'm excited that the YouTube audience can see it now. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Make sure to check out Game S Jeopardy right here on the Game S channel if you like game shows. That's going to do it for me for tonight. Gentlemen, try to survive this draft.
Listen, I'm going to be fine.
We'll see if we'll still be friends at the end of it. I don't know.
All right. That's what I see.
Thanks,
See you later,
Sean.
guys.
Have a good one. All right,
All right.
Mike. That brings us to our next game of the night. Let me. You know what? We're gonna take one more quick break. We'll get started, everybody. All right. Let me.
Let me go.
Yeah, go. You go, Tinkle. Yeah, you go. Mentally prepare yourself. He's fucked. There's too many choices this generation. He's gonna like talk himself in circles. He's screwed. All right, I'm gonna
He's so fucked.
He's so fucked. It's not even. He's done. He's gonna go even more boomer, I bet. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this. Opera. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's behind. Okay, that's why. Bring that over here. All right, how's that look, everybody? Does that look okay?
It's over your cameras.
It's gonna
Thank
be
you.
rough.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a rough time.
It's gonna be rough.
Oh man, if Mike loses, oh my God,
Yeah, I'm worried about him, bro.
dear Lord.
Yeah, we should do a prayer for him. Dear Lord, dear Disney God, Disney Jesus, protect our native son, our
Yeah,
sweet boy from himself.
My mom to pray for.
Yeah,
this
thank you. Yeah,
motherfucker.
Hail Marys and that stuff.
We need a Latino mom for this shit.
That's right, we do.
Yeah, she's gonna.
She can compel Satan not to overtake his list tonight.
The maximum level of prayer that you can get is like Latino mom.
Yes, exactly. That's like 99 rated prayer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We could do a tier list of most powerful prayers, and Latina moms would be number one for sure. S tier.
Yep, that's true. Don't put it in the draft.
That's right. Empanada Eater. I am taking the cube name. Grubb Cube versus Mike Box. I'll let him name his own console.
Oh no! What are you doing? I want to survive this night. What are you doing to us?
You want to kill this guy? Why don't you just go to his house and shoot him in the face?
That's a good idea too. I'd only do that. Oh man.
What
if he doesn't come back right now? What if he's already just on the ground, sort of losing it?
He has his headphones on right now. You heard that. He just dropped. He's gonna die like Elvis.
Oh man. Does he have wireless headphones? Is that what's happening here?
No, he just has a really long cable on that.
I've been in that room now. I should next time I'm there, I'm gonna measure that cable. I need to see it. I guess this bathroom is just like right around the corner there. So, oh no, he didn't have his headphones on.
Oh, good. He didn't hear all that. Excellent.
Okay,
What did
good.
you say?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you were planning the screw. Oh, I forgot.
No, don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. Whatever you do.
All right, everybody. So vote fair. Vote with your hearts. All right. You guys know we are not trying to kill Mike. It'd be bad for me financially if we killed Mike. So
I mean, you got a backup. Don't
yeah,
worry.
that's true. I got replacements. I've been plotting replacements for a long time. Don't worry.
We got another Minotti. What's the worst?
We got two other Minottis. We can bring Chris on even.
It was hard when he was like, "You're all voting because you hate me." I'm like, I just like the games Chef picked. I don't know what to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
What, you think I was going to yell about not getting the GameCube name? Is that what
Yes,
this is
yes.
about?
Everyone is worried about
I
that.
saw it already. I read the rundown. Don't worry.
What do you want your console name to be? Right? Okay. You know what? Let's come into it.
No, it's just
Mitch Cast.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the showdown between the Grubb Cube and the Mitch Box. Call it Mitch Box. Mike, you might be muted, but what do you want your console name to be? He's there he goes. All right.
Yeah. I was trying to sneeze and it didn't unmute. Mike Box is fine. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Not Mitch Box.
Not Mitch Box.
Hi,
Mike
by
Box.
the way.
Okay. So let's run down what we do here with this. So it's a draft. It is a draft. We're going to go back and forth, no snaking, and we are selecting games from the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, Dreamcast generation. We can select anything. We are trying to build a list that people will vote on. If they have to choose one console of the two, and they can only choose one, which one will they want? That's the criteria. That's the only criteria. So what I'm going to tell you, Mike, is draft better than you have the previous two times where I've beaten you each time.
Oh, don't even. Just
As the loser from the last time we did this, you do get to go first. I still have not gone first in this. I still won it every time. So
You shut the hell up.
so
it doesn't matter. The big advantage.
if you well, listen, this time it's not as much of a big advantage. You mentioned this when we talked about it before, that there's just so many games in this generation. I find it a little bit overwhelming, honestly. But if you will, please kick us off. You are now on the board.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I was trying to think about this, and I really just, I don't know. I don't know what you go for first here. There's so many. I think I'm gonna follow my heart here and say Super Smash Bros. Melee will be my #1 pick.
That's a really good one. That was probably going to be the one I would go with. Super Smash Bros.
Very popular.
Melee.
Still, it's very nostalgic for a lot of people. Hopefully, it doesn't mean it's a boomer game. I don't know. I think people still like. I mean, I was surprised how many people said that you having Smash Brothers 64 was a big deal last time. So if that was, then Melee has to matter. Melee has to matter.
This is tough. It's already puts me in a tough spot, I feel like, but it's I guess that's just drafting, because this was going to be my first pick. My Super Smash Brothers Melee was going to be the one I was going to go for. I think with our audience, I think it would have had the biggest impact, and I think even with the broad audience, people fucking love Melee. So I think that was a really good first pick, a really strong first pick. And despite people like, hey, there's better ones out there, I still think that's the right pick. There are so many directions I can go on at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid of abandoning my winning strategy. So I'm still going to do this, though. All right, hang on. Give me a second to think. I don't want to make any rash decisions right away. I could say that there's a chance that would work, but you know what? I'm going to go for The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
All right. Dang it. Okay.
It's I think it's a big name Zelda that a lot of people really love. It is one of the best GameCube games. It's one of the games that people think of when they think of the GameCube. I think even despite having re-releases on the Wii U, people still associate it with the GameCube. So there's a lot of love for that generation. I think this is going to be, I think it's going to win over a lot of people. And of course, it has that Nintendo power, which has been one of my strategies recently. So, Mike, it's back to you.
Yeah. I think I might go the opposite strategy. I might try to do more of an even spread.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
So, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this now. I'm going to take Halo 2. Halo 1 and 2 are the best games.
That's definitely one I was considering.
Yeah. One of the most hyped games of all time, what I can remember. It has the online multiplayer, which is a big deal. It's the first time we had to consider that. So I think that's a good pick there. Just probably the best shooter from this era. So I think I'll go ahead and lock that baby up. Probably, there's not gonna be compared to all the other consoles, I don't think there's gonna be a ton of Xbox games. So I want to kind of get to the big one while I can.
I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Not exactly something that fits into the model of the team I'm trying to build here, but I think it's the best Grand Theft Auto. I think it has a lot. I think it still has a lot of nostalgia of people playing Grand Theft Auto at that time, and also it's the one that I think people recognize now as the best one of those three. There's so much there. There's so much to play. I think people still go back to San Andreas. I don't know. This was really close to being my #1 pick, but I'm glad I can get it #2.
Yeah, I forgot to say, by the way, chat. Just no suggestions. I'm trying not to read too much, anyways. But
yeah. I mean, yes. And honestly, there's so many games that I just don't.
It doesn't really matter.
But yeah, try to refrain from suggestions. Definitely comment on the picks that we make, though, for sure.
Okay. I want to go JRPG now because unlike with the last generation and the 16-bit generation, there are not a ton of amazing picks here. So I'm going to go ahead and get Final Fantasy X right now.
Okay. That is a good move.
I think it's probably safe to say it was the most popular JRPG from that era.
Yes. Definitely, I'm like struggling to even think of one that could even come close to standing up as big as that. So
there's one, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think for a second. I am like, there are a lot of really big ones that you know what? No, I think I might just start leaning into my Nintendo strategy now. But because there's a lot of big games that I think this would be a good one. I'm worried about it's the way that a younger audience that might be voting on our stuff perceives it today. I'm also worried about people thinking of like, well, I don't even really like that's something I played on my phone a couple years ago. Like a lot of games, like it's like whatever. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go Metroid Prime.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm happy with my Nintendo strategy. I'm gonna go Metroid Prime.
Okay.
Mike, back to you while you think about it. Metroid Prime is probably the best game of this generation, at least in terms of holding up over time. It is so timeless. It's so well made that they put out a remaster this year, and it's one of the best things anyone's played this year. It's that good. Also, it's fresh in people's minds. I think that I think that's really gonna help this game at this part of the list.
Yeah, I got my only reason why I didn't is because of the remaster, and like I don't know, people were like, I don't want to play the original tank controls anymore. That was like my one hesitation of like maybe it being a first round pick and all that stuff.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
We'll see. Who knows? Maybe people are just gonna see Metroid Prime and then they'll do the rest in their head. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna get Metal Gear Solid 3 right now. You can just call it Metal Gear Solid 3 because it kind of means subsistence, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Probably most people's favorite entry in that series. A very big, fun game. Definitely a big highlight from that generation. One of my favorites. Feel good about that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It might be too soon for this.
I just want to say, chat, like this happens every time. I feel like all I see in chat is Mike is winning, big W's for Mike, and then I go, I'm winning.
Well, I mean, what happens? I mean, that happens with like my picks too. What happens is like people are waiting to hear the game that they want said.
Yeah.
And so when they see it, they pop off, and it feels like, oh, but it's just confirmation bias. Again, I'm gonna lean into the strategy. I really wish I had Super Smash Brothers Melee. That would feel so much better about the strategy if I did it. But I'm gonna go for it now. I'm gonna say Mario Kart Double Dash because I know people love this game. It's early for it, I think, but I feel good about it, especially going with the Nintendo strategy.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good pick there, Jeff. So I think I will right now pick up Resident Evil 4.
Okay, so that's one where I'm like, I don't know.
It's a bit of what I just talked about with Prime.
Yeah, and I just think to me that one's been more watered down, but that's probably a personal view. I think that might be a personal view. I love Resident Evil 4, so yeah, that's a good pick.
Yep. Hopefully it gives me a little bit. I know it like had a PlayStation 2 port, but I still kind of consider that a GameCube game also. So hopefully it gives me some GameCube energy.
All right, I'm gonna start branching out a little bit. I'm gonna go with God of War 2.
Okay, yeah. I like that.
I think it's kind of one of the better action games, actually, of that entire generation. So, yeah. And also one that I think kind of people associate a lot with this generation. So, feeling it.
Okay. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I'm not gonna forget Tony Hawk this time. There's a lot to choose from this time, to be honest. So you could easily just come in with some other one, but 3 is my favorite. I'm not sure if it's everyone's favorite. I think it could be, but that's like the epitome of the classic formula, and I still kind of prefer that, like doing all the runs as opposed to just having the open world stuff of the later ones. So yeah, 3 is the one I'm going with.
Okay. Thinking. Oh, man, there's so many games to choose from. I'm like not ready to pull that trigger. I think I could save that. Yeah, I'm gonna return back to Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Oh, you son of a bitch! How dare you?
I think it's kind of breaking down pretty similar to what's happened in the recent weeks when we've done this before. I think you have a really good spread of games. I think it's really good, but I think I need that Nintendo power if I'm going to win. If it worked with the N64, I really think it should work.
It worked with the Nintendo 64,
right? Me neither. I think it should really work with the GameCube.
Stupid system. Okay. I'm going to steal a little GameCube magic from you.
Okay.
It's a Soul Calibur 2, specifically the GameCube version with a Link. Still maybe my favorite 3D fighting game ever. I think maybe people agree. Like, there's other, but even though there's been other good Soul Calibur games, I don't think any of them are as good as Soul Calibur 2. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, you're scared. You're on the ropes, aren't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I felt this way every week, so why should this week be any different? Man, again, there's so many possibilities. There's so many things you could pick.
It is daunting.
You went with 10. I do want like another like just straight up RPG. But it's like, man, I don't know if this one plays, but it was like listen, I chose Final Fantasy VIII, and I think this one is.
I can't believe you got away with Final Fantasy VIII, to be honest.
No one voted for me because of Final Fantasy VIII, to be clear, but man, this is tough because it's like, man, is that the right move? Or I don't really know. You know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna hold off on that too. This is very tough.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things I just don't think you're gonna pick, and I can get down to my like last 3 picks and go for all those things at that point.
I've had that strategy before.
And you've got a couple of other things where it's like if I wanted to counterpick you by picking the similar things later, I could do that too.
You don't think I'm going to go and pick 20X Pro Skater 4 next? Sure.
Right, exactly. Right. That's an option to me. We'll see if I need that. If you do, oh well, okay. But we'll see. All right, still thinking. I did that, kind of maybe thinking, is that really worth it? That's a really bad move. I'm not going to do that.
Oh God, I wanted to know what you were thinking about.
Okay, I think maybe now.
You're on the clock, Jeff. You're on the clock.
I'm gonna say Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Shit, that was literally gonna be my next one. Literally is going to be my next one.
I think it's like this is the one I was considering earlier. I'm worried about it being watered down over time, and people not even thinking about it as like a game from this gen. I mean, but I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. I'm not worried about it at this point. This is a good pick at this part of the draft.
This is the one that I worried I'd be yelled at for being a boomer.
Yes, I'm getting yelled at for being a boomer.
It's
totally
happening.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't pick it now because everyone's. Why is? I do want to know, Jeff, why Knights of the Republic is a boomer game, but like
because it's got turn-based combat, kind of. It's got
probably 10 does too.
It's got menu-based combat at the very least.
Yeah. You could practically smell the dice rolls in it, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's right. And that's die are for boomers or whatever. I don't know.
Die are for boomers. Okay. So now, now I am like, no, I don't. I have the same thing too, Jeff. Now I was ready to go with this round because I was just gonna pick Knights of the Republic. Now I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, take your time.
And then there's a bunch of ones that I'm worried people yell at me about being boomers. Or
sure,
like
of course.
Small. Like last time I thought it was real cute with Einhander. I was like, this rounds things out nicely. A bit of a hidden gem and a genre that's underrepresented. People are still screaming boomer at me for that one. People are still bringing up Einhander as this massive mistake, which makes me a little sad for Einhander.
Yeah, that's
but what can you do?
They don't know. They just don't know.
They just don't know any better, Jeff. They're fools.
They're fools, of course.
Yeah, it's fools that they be. There are some very big games missing from this list. I know, and I'm trying. I should look over to my games. That's cheating. I will. There's one that I do want to pick, but I'm already so represented with this genre. But we've seen before that doesn't really matter with people. But maybe I still no. I'm still kind of worried about it. I'm still worried about it. Oh, this is terrifying. This is terrifying. I hate this.
I know.
Okay. It's like the one I want to pick. I think people are definitely going to say it's a boomer game, but I think it's.
Like I'll tell you right now, most of the things I'm considering are all boomer games at this point.
Well, I mean, they're all from the same era. They're all.
I know, but I know they're going to get roasted for being boomer games. Like I know it.
Yeah. All right. Jak and Daxter. It's honestly
that's
probably
not boomer.
Oh, they'll tell me it's boomer. You think they're not going to say that's boomer?
I don't think so.
I think it's the Yeah, there's boomers.
Yeah, of course, but there's also like people really excited. It's a good pick.
I think it's like, look, I like Mario Sunshine, so obviously it is the one that falters. Like Jak and Daxter might actually be the best 3D platformer for this generation.
Hey, Sam Dornan says great boomer game. There you go.
There you go. It's both. I like it. Which pick? So that was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was my 8th pick already? Oh my gosh. We do 10 or 12, I forget.
12.
12. Okay, we got some more room to play with here. Good.
We're not allowed to pick PC games, right?
No, none of that. Why? What were you thinking about?
Well, there's a game that came out on console that it's like, I'm afraid if I put it on there, it will be like considered as a PC game.
What, are you trying to pick Half-Life 2 or something cute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on Xbox.
It was on Xbox. It was an awful port.
I know. Exactly. So I would be trying to get away with the PC version. Okay. All right.
Yeah. No
Half-Life 2.
Pick World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Then freaking Jez will be happy. At least he always yells at us.
All right. I'm thinking there are some big ones. But it's. I'm gonna save that one for last.
Spicy.
Should I do this?
True love we're making. Should I do this?
Should I do?
I know immediately what you're thinking about. Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare!
I don't know if it's a good idea. But I kind of want to do it just because if you lose and I pick this one, you might actually die. And I don't want that to happen, but it'd be really funny.
If I pick it, everyone will yell at me. It's like, oh, Mike, you shouldn't have picked it just because you like it. Don't you know? Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm picking Kingdom Hearts.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell, Jeff. Oh, my
Do it for the memes.
I immediately knew what you were thinking.
I love it too. Oh, as soon as you said that, I'm like, well, now I have to. I
was like, don't you even.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3. We have 3 left. We have 4 picks left, right?
4 picks left. Okay.
All right. Serious time.
God. I'm going to have a stroke. Okay. I am going to say Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Ooh, getting another fighting game. All right, yeah.
Another big. That's what I was thinking. I have a lot of fighting games.
This is a really good pick.
I don't really have like a traditional 2D one. I don't have a Dreamcast game. This is a big Dreamcast game. Maybe my favorite Dreamcast game. I played the holy hell out of this. I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2. People still like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. People are still talking about this game. So I feel good about that.
That's a really good pick. Man, okay. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, is this when I start doing stuff like that, or?
You have 4 games left.
Yep.
Got some room to work with.
Let's Okay, yeah, I'll save that for a little bit, just a little bit longer. I'm not gonna pick that. All right, I'm thinking maybe I should get one of those now. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm going. I'm gonna go with Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a big enough name.
That's a good one. I wasn't even thinking about that one.
Yeah, I think it's just I really like it. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I got a PlayStation 2.
You got one late, huh?
I got one. Well, yeah, I knew it was coming for a very long time, so I got it and waited for it to come out. But it was, I don't know. It was at this point in the draft, I think Shadow of the Colossus is a pretty big name to get.
Okay.
3 picks left.
Yeah. Okay, this is kind of hard just because I'm not actually. I know people like these games, and people have specifically told me recently that they age well. And I'm kind of just not sure which one is it that I need to pick here. So when that's the case, it's like maybe I should just pick the first one. Yeah, I'll just say Sly Cooper.
Okay.
Sly Cooper. Devious Raccoonus. Which is something I think we both we really do want to play.
Yeah, I want to play it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go. I need this, I think, to counter a couple of yours, and I don't know if it's gonna. I really don't think it's going to be enough. Once again, I think your list is awesome. So I'm gonna go Silent Hill 2.
Oh, that's a good one. Holy crap!
Because I need a survival horror game. I need something that like people still care about today. I think that has potential to move the needle for a certain subset of the audience. We'll see.
All right. I have like a real safe idea here, and it's a little boring, but it's very safe. But if I try to pick outside the box, I'm not sure what it would be. So I'll just do it. I'll do Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
To counterpick the San Andreas.
Sure.
I think people.
I really like Vice City.
I think maybe in a poll, San Andreas would win, but I think a lot of people still prefer Vice City.
I really like Vice City. I think if I was going to play any one of them, it'd be Vice City.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. now it's like I got a whole bunch I'm actually considering now. It's not going to be easy.
No.
I'll counterpick this. No.
Mm?
Shit. I wish we had more than 2 left. Okay.
Don't you know?
Yeah, there's just so
scary.
Yeah, it's like I think there will be a lot of people happy with anything I'm about to say, and there's a whole people are going to be like, "Why didn't you pick that one?" And be like, "I'm considering it. I am.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it."
There's one I would like to do, and I just know I'd be screamed at for a boomer pick on some of them.
Oh man,
screamed.
Okay, wait, something just occurred to me.
Oh no,
this really puts me in a corner, but I think I think this counts.
What the hell is this?
Persona 4 came out on PlayStation 2, right?
It did.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go Persona 4.
Okay.
I think
the worst Chie voice actor.
Yes. I think that's there's not. I mean, there's so many things I could pick right now. So many things, but I think that one probably is the big. At least for the people that will be voting, I think Persona 4 is going to be big.
No, I think you're right. I don't think people are going to be like, "Well, I like Golden more." They're just going to see Persona 4.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's pretty good. I should be like a super mega and be like Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. No, that will not play. That would not play. I'm trying to think if there's any other Dreamcast games I would really do. There's like one I almost consider, but no, it's not popular enough. It's just not. Yeah, fuck you. Kingdom Hearts 2. How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Okay. Let me look at your list here. There's a bunch I could counterpick. I don't know if I want to do that. There's definitely one I should go with because I don't have any representation from there, but it's also a counterpick. I guess I could just start talking out the games I'm thinking about. So I think Halo Combat Evolved could really undermine Halo 2. I think you're right. Halo 2 is better. I think a lot of people now have a very, very huge fondness for Halo Combat Evolved still. I think Final Fantasy 12 is not the right pick at this point. It's something I was holding on to. Is like 10's definitely bigger for sure. Final Fantasy 12 would take
12 more.
Yeah, it would take some of the wind out of the sails there, but I don't think so. And then Street Fighter 3 Third Strike would be like a pretty good one because I need a fighting game. It would counter Marvel versus Capcom 2. It would get that audience, but I don't know. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything else.
I hate it. My Coke Zero, the like ribbed part came off with the cap or whatever you call that. Now I can't like put it back on ever. I hate that. So, oh, there it goes. Never mind. I got my backup drink. I'm always drinking. You notice that? Everybody else doesn't just. Like,
you're just constantly just chugging. Yeah.
Constantly need something. Oral fixation, I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And then there's like long shot picks that I'm like, I think are pretty fun, but I just don't know.
You don't want to do a 9-hander, apparently. I learned that lesson.
But it's like, I got like SSX Tricky. Like, that's like,
People like SSX.
People like SSX, right? Yes. I mean, I prefer.
There's one game I know you love that I think you're too afraid to pick.
Yes, NBA Street Volume 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm too afraid to pick that. I'm right about it. It would be the best game.
I agree too.
Like for like this point by far. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
That's what I would have, if I was you, that's what I would have gone with.
I think I need a fighting game.
Yep. If you got, I was surprised how much you got off of picking Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo.
Exactly, right.
So.
Yes, exactly. And now Street Fighter 2 is, I think, as much as Third Strike is beloved by that community, I think Street Fighter 2 is like this global thing that a lot of people played. But yeah, I don't know. Once again, like always, I'm like, Mike, your list is like, especially your top handful of games are so good. So
I agree. I feel like I would win again, but I just don't know. Jeff, apparently,
hey, no Sunshine.
Yeah, that's nobody wanted to pick Sunshine this time. Some people, there are Sunshine freaks, and some of them will be like, "Why not?" And maybe it would have been a smarter move.
Yeah, but I got Mario, Paper Mario, Mario Kart. Mario is on there, and
I have Jack and Daxter.
And you got Melee
and Melee. What were there any other like games you just knew wouldn't play? I would have loved to pick Rogue Leader, but I just don't know.
Star Wars Rogue Leader for sure. Bully. I don't know.
Bully might have played still.
Maybe, but Burnout 3.
Burnout 3
Takedown. I'm like, that's such a good game. That's like,
yeah.
And then I was like maybe obviously like Ratchet and Clank. When you pick Jak and Daxter, I was like, but I just don't know if it's going to do enough to overcome Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, I did completely forget about Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
I didn't. It was another one I considered, but it just kind of got thrown into that SSX pool.
Yeah, I may have
Def Jam Fight for New York. That's a good one. Yeah,
Def Jam would have been good.
Okami's one I definitely considered Okami.
Yeah, I don't know about Forest, but I like Eternal Darkness still. Some people do not think that's aged well. So the Run would have been a fun pick. I agree. There's the Katamaris, the Pikmin. So yeah, there's a lot of game from this generation.
Yeah, Pikmin I knew wouldn't play. Things like that. Twilight Princess.
Hero.
Twilight Princess I knew wouldn't play.
No, people are like, counter pick with Twilight Princess. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we want to read out the lists for the
Yes, we do.
listeners, Jeff?
Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Sure. The Grubb Cube has The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Grand Theft Auto: San Andreas, Metroid Prime, Mario Kart Double Dash, God of War 2, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, Kingdom Hearts, Shadow of the Colossus, Silent Hill 2, Persona 4, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The Mike Box has Super Smash Brothers Melee, Halo 2, Final Fantasy X, Metal Gear Solid 3, Resident Evil 4, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube, Jak and Daxter, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Age of New Heroes, Sly Cooper, Thievius Raccoonus, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh boy.
All right. The poll is live, everybody. You can vote on it right now. Go ahead and do that.
Console B first. That's just going to confuse everybody. You better just call it console A.
I'm moving things. Don't
worry.
I
See what you're doing.
Yep.
You're a genius.
Yep. Don't worry about it. I'm on top of it.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you are a podcast producer, you could vote right now. Sean set it up. It's in there. I'll check on it here in a second. What we're going to do is we're going to run the numbers, and we're going to come back, and we will declare a winner.
God.
All right. How you feeling, Mike?
I'm all right. Hey, guys, if you're watching live, a few more thumbs up would be cool. Let's hit 100 if we can. Last chance to get super chats in. When we come back, we'll just be talking about the results and some of the games we've been playing.
And thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. We have a lot of fun doing these, and it's fun to do it for an audience. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it.
We'll do a chat poll for fun in a second here. We'll maybe start that when we start doing things, because I can see those results live and I start reacting to them pretty quick. We'll see. Once again, like, I feel like the last 2 times chat was like, yeah, Mike killed it, and then I lost anyways. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I think you killed it.
You thought that last 2 times.
I know. I'm just as surprised as you are, Mike.
We'll see. Okay, I'm excited.
All right, I'm putting the poll on Twitter. Let's see here.
Oh, I'm excited. This is exciting stuff. Someone said Capcom vs SNK 2, and I didn't do it because I just don't think it's popular enough. But now I have that song stuck in my head. This is true love making.
Hey, Sean, you know, if you're still around, it'd be helpful if you just came on and told us who was the winner. Because that way I don't have to like bring it up on Opera and all that stuff. Do you want to hop in?
I can do that for you.
All right, cool. Let's bring it back.
You want to make a poll for chat?
Yeah, I'll do it after this.
Okay, gotcha.
And we're back with results, I believe, Sean. The poll's still live at the moment, I think, right?
The poll is still live. If you guys want to do anything else, read any other super chats or anything, while we give people a second on that.
That sounds good. Yes. Sure. All right, Mike. Why don't you give us the rest of the super chats?
Let's see. Burrito here says, "Here's some more money for that good Tokoto luck."
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if he needs it this week.
Trust me, I need it. Big Fresh 37 says, "Rollin' or American Badass." And what is this a reference to?
Rolling. And then I think these are interest. Are these interest themes for Undertaker?
Taker? Yeah, I'm not I didn't watch during American Badass, so American Badass means very little to me.
Okay.
Although actually, I think those were two separate themes for his American Badass era. Now that I think about it, I wasn't really tuned in then. El Greg says in kayfabe, Jeff thinks Kingdom Hearts 1 is better than Morrowind. Jeff should stream Kingdom Hearts 1 for Giant Bomb.
I do not think that.
No, I don't want that. People are always like, make Jeff play Kingdom Hearts 1. No.
I have played it. It's miserable.
God, yeah, I don't need to watch Jeff drag on one of my favorite games for 30 hours. I don't need it. B. Travis says, I'm here for Mike's box. Thank you, B.
Oh, Mike, you're crushing it on Twitter.
All right. Uncharted Wolf says, no Metal Gear Solid 2. Big sad for me. I'm sorry. I had to do 3. Is it finally my time? Your time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now.
I think so.
It's the franchise. Boy, I'm shining now. You can't see me. My time is now. Okay.
Any other super chats?
That's it. If you guys still want to squeeze some more in there, we will get them. Oh, you know what? Off air, I asked for some thumbs up. We got a lot of thumbs up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Why did I say to do things and you do them?
Yeah. All right, Sean, why don't you close the poll and give us the results?
Yes, sir.
I think, once again, Mike, I'll say that if I had to pick one of these two consoles, I'm pretty sure I would pick yours. It's tough for me. I like Metroid Prime a lot. But no, other than that,
there actually are a lot of games on your, like, when I actually look at your console, you do basically have nothing but big hits when I really look at it. I see nothing to complain about. I don't see, like, honestly, I would almost be less mad this time, because the last couple of times I thought you had misses. I thought you had weird picks, like a Final Fantasy 8 or a SimCity. I don't see any weird picks on your list.
Burrito, the people voting in the Discord will have, because Sean just grabbed an image of it, right? That's how you had the, yeah. So
everyone knew.
They see it. They see it. It shouldn't be too confusing.
Which, speaking of which, the results are in.
All right, Sean, you want to build that tension and drop it on us?
Yes, sir. So the leader had quite a blowout here. 37 votes over 17 votes from the podcast producers. That means that the winner with 69% of the vote is the Mike Box.
What the fuck?
No! Congratulations, Mikey. You got one.
Oh my god.
Congratulations, Mike. Good job.
Mikey needed a win, baby.
Not too surprised. I think, man, that Super Smash Brothers Melee, I think, alone did work for you.
I think Melee and Halo helped.
Yep, I really considered Halo Combat Evolved. That might have helped, but yeah. No, you got a Metal Gear Solid 3, Resident Evil 4, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. It's a good list.
It's a good list. Sly Cooper may have been my weakest pick. I don't know. I was just, but I wish I could have done Prince of Persia or something else there if I went back on it. But I'm happy with it. It's happy with it.
A little bit closer on Twitter, but you're still winning right now with 500 votes. You're up 53.2% to 46.8%.
Why don't we get Chad a chance to vote here while we do the end of the
Sounds
show?
good.
Let's see what they think.
All right, I'll set that up. While I do that, Mike, what have you been playing?
You know, I've been playing that WWE 2K23. Been trying that out. I actually haven't played one of these in a while, Jeff. I know last year people liked it, and then 2 years before that was the super awful one that almost derailed the entire franchise. So it's been a while since I played one of these. So going to 2K23, I've been having fun. It looks really nice. Character models look great. It has a gigantic roster, and I am it has another one of those showcase modes, and this one really focuses on John Cena's career. That's a lot of fun for me because that's when I really started watching a lot. Was I watched in the Attitude Era when everybody did, but then it was like 2005, shortly after he was like in the midst of his first really big run with the title, that I tuned in. So that was when I was going to a lot of shows and stuff. So I was at a lot of live events. I went to WrestleMania 23 in that era. So a lot of the stuff it's referencing there is stuff I remember watching. So yeah, been having a fun time with it. It's a good wrestling game. It definitely it reminds me of the direction these series have been in for a bit. I know sometimes it's a little too simmy for some people. I don't have a huge problem with it because it all works. It all feels logical. There are some times where it's like you push a button and then a move happens for 30 seconds. It kind of feels a little weird, but whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I remember I really wanted to play last year's because people seem to be into it, and then it never worked on the Steam Deck. And then I'm like, I'll get to it on PC, I guess, eventually. And then I never actually ended up playing it there. So maybe this year, look, I'm gonna do a quick look here pretty soon with Dan and Jan. We're all gonna sit in there. Dan's been playing a lot of it, trying to get ready for it. It seems like to have a lot of stuff in it. We talked about
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right. So it's like
almost have too much stuff. Like there's
right.
On the home screen. There's like five modes. I don't even know what they are. I'm
right,
like, okay,
and they're all kind of similarly named and stuff.
Right, like my WWE universe, my career, my like whatever. Like okay, my network. Like what the hell is this crap?
And that's like a lot of sim sports games these days. I think I boot up NHL and it's definitely got like a lot of modes named similarly that do a lot of crossover and a lot of overlap. And I don't know where to go to have the fun I want to have, so I just kind of like I'll go do a playoff mode or whatever. That WWE needs an arcade game to go along with the sim. I get that it takes a lot of time and money just to make this one thing, and I think they think this thing's more important. They're probably right. This probably does sell more because the mass audience wants the thing that looks like the TV show. But boy, they need to get over that and make more games, and also make an arcade game every couple of years. It doesn't have to be annual like this one, but
sure.
Again, the annual one is more important. That makes them more money. So
yeah,
it's frustrating.
You brought up some other show. I think you wish that NetherRealm would just make like the actual console version of that mobile WWE style fighting game they did some time ago. Well, in like Midway or whoever it was, like NetherRealm back in the day made that wrestling game also that was more of just like a fighter in the Mortal Kombat style, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd like an over the top game like that again. Would be a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, shout outs to Burrito for saying Tol Kotor. And now if I ever play Kotor again, I gotta definitely brand it as that. That's pretty good.
You're winning by a similar margin in the chat vote right now with 100 votes, 66% to 34% as compared to what happened in the Discord.
Yeah, it's been it's closer on Twitter. It's 52.6 to 47.4.
Yeah, mine says 52.2 to 52.1 now, still 47.9, but I guess let it refresh there. I guess that just shows you can't really trust Twitter because it seems broken half the time.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Anything else you've been playing?
Gosh, I did play that Resident Evil 4 demo. That's in fact, gosh, I think reviews for that might be dropping soon, Jeff.
Yeah, I think in a couple hours, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, so
I didn't sign anything. I don't fucking. Oh yeah, but it's midnight. There you go.
Either. Good job, Jeff.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a big game, man.
Yes,
just playing the demo. I did try it on both Xbox and PC, and I'm kind of like I think I might need this on PC. It does feel in a game where it's like matters a lot getting those headshots. It did feel pretty good to have mouse and keyboard controls, so that might be where I'm looking to play it now.
Yeah, I was frustrated. I couldn't. My controller wouldn't work, and I fixed that. But I'm like, I started playing with mouse and keyboard. I'm like, oh, this feels pretty good actually. So I might do that as well.
Yeah, so very excited for that the full thing to come out there. I have the the beta for Diablo 4 starts tomorrow. I have that pre-installed, so I'm ready to go with that. That's be fun. Oh, you know what else I've been playing? I've played a lot of this week actually. Was Anno 1800.
Yeah, how are you finding that?
I'm enjoying it a lot. So for those who don't know, Anno is a city building series actually published by Ubisoft. It's like the least Ubisoft thing that they publish, though, because it is like a city builder, very resource management focused. So it's it's not exactly like a Sim City, but I was thinking about this because people are talking about city skylines again, and I played Anno 2070 back when that came out some time ago, and enjoyed that. And I know this one came out a few years ago, 1800, and people liked it, so I finally jumped into it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You just kind of get to make that sort of Victorian, early industrial era style settlement. The whole thing of Anno also is like it's always like an island chain that you're doing this stuff in. So ships are always important. Like there's some combat in the game, like some small RTS elements, but it's always sort of ship based. So it's not like this giant scope of armies and all this stuff that you would get if you're playing like a real time strategy game, or even like a Civilization can do sometimes, which is good for me. If I'm playing a city builder, I don't really want to do a whole lot of combat,
Right?
Per se. And yeah, I think the console version for Anno actually did drop today, coincidentally enough. Which you think that wouldn't work on consoles, but a lot of these games just do keep working on consoles somehow. So maybe that's worth checking out.
Can I ask you, what is the turn-to-turn decisions that you're making in an Anno? Is it just like where to place the buildings? Is that yeah, go ahead.
Kind of. The big thing is so like you always want more houses for people.
Okay.
And then you need people to work in your like factories and your farms and stuff. And
right.
You need to upgrade the people for different jobs. But in order to be upgraded and be happy, you have to make sure they have the specific resources. So it's like, all right, well, I built the people, but now the people need clothes to be happy. So I need to build, sheep farms. And I need workers to work on the sheep farms. But also, I eventually want to have sausages and or I need to mine coal when I need to upgrade my farmers to workers. So it's a lot of that. It's like you need this resource to do that. And now that you have that, you need this. So it's just kind of this nice progression, and then before you know it, you're building things like zoos and you're starting a world fair, and your humble village organically grows into this really kind of pretty beautiful thing. So it's definitely like has some of that SimCity city planning in terms of like it makes sense to keep like a residential area and like have your farms over here and see some of your industrial stuff over there, but it really is mostly just about resource management. And because it's like an island chain, sometimes it's like, well, I need red peppers, but those don't grow on my island. So I need to establish a settlement on this island now and set up a trade network so I can get the red peppers over to my island. And like a Civilization, there will be other people playing and you can do trade with them and stuff like that.
Okay. I like that. That sounds
really fun.
Yeah, it sounds exactly up my alley.
It's a very relaxing game. It has some chill vibes, really pretty music. And it has a campaign that that is just playing the game. Like it definitely tutorializes things. It tells you what to do, but it is just letting you play the game. Like the campaign is just one really long session, and it does have this thing eventually where you sort of switch between the old world and the new world maps. Like you'll have settlements in both, and you can switch between the two in real time. It's really neat. I've been enjoying it a lot. I think if anybody enjoys these kind of games, Anno 1800 might be worth checking out. If you think you would like the futuristic vibe, try 2070. That one is a bit older, but has a bit of futuristic vibe. There's another futuristic one that came after it that people don't like as much. I forget exactly what it's called. It's like 23. I forget.
Brett Cocker in chat mentions SteamWorld build felt more like an Anno, and what you described there, I'm like, oh, that sounds like SteamWorld build. So I'm like, okay, well then I should go play Anno because I was really enjoying SteamWorld build. So that sounds cool.
I think you'd like Anno.
Yeah, I think I will too. Anything else?
Just like kind of talking myself into not giving up Fire Emblem Engage yet. I came very close again last night. I don't know. The battles are, ever since they took away my rings, now the battles are really hard, and I know I'm playing on hard mode, and it used to be fun. Now it's like hard in a way I'm finding almost kind of annoying. Maybe I'll just reduce the difficulty finally and just, stop stressing out so much, because I'm at a point now where the battles are just taking forever to do because I'm on hard mode, and it's just kind of a drain on me. I still can't believe they just took away the rings.
Yeah, it does sound like something that a decision they were forced into because they didn't want to go back and completely rejigger the difficulty the hard way. So like, just take away the rings and force them to go through these battles, and that'll keep things getting harder. And it's like, oh no. That's not a good idea. You can't. Games should not do that. That is a bad move. That's clearly a bad move. I'm still playing Engage. I'm not at that point yet, so we'll see how I feel once I get there. I'm still enjoying it when I am playing it. But I started playing Clash, or what is it? The Xenoclash follow up. Let me see if I can get the name here.
That Twitter poll is closing, by the way.
No, I set it for a day.
No. I mean, like closing distance.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's close.
you're still gonna. I think you're still gonna win. Clash Artifacts of Chaos, which is a very weird game. It is a combat brawler 3D world thing. It is so hard to get around in the world because everything looks the same, and the map is so like it's a confusing maze. But it's like I think they made it a confusing maze because it's just like they didn't have a lot to work with. So instead of just making it easy to get from one place to the other, they just sort of made it the roundabout way. Whatever. It's just weird, and it's hard to tell visually where you can go. But then you get in combat, and the combat's pretty okay. You got 3 different stances you could choose from at the beginning of the game, and the actual like connecting of the punches feels really good. And if you build up your meter, you go into the first person fighting mode, which apparently is what Xenoclash was. I've never played Xenoclash, but they were first person fighter / shooter. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this is like, okay, well, you can engage that mode at a certain point if your meter builds up, and then you're just throwing these great punches, and it's pretty fun and interesting and very weird. You play as this like, I don't know, this guy that looks like a potato, kind of not like not like round that in that way, but like his head just like has like sprouts sticking out, and he like his neck. He doesn't have a neck. It's just kind of this like his head just sort of slopes into his shoulders, and like then his flesh, like when you do have your body, looks like potato skin. And then you can lose your body, and you're just kind of like a little bit more skeletal, and then you have to go out there and get your body back, of course, because every game does that now. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than it's strange. It's got a story. I don't know what's happening in it. It's interesting, but I'm gonna maybe keep playing a little bit more of it. Maybe we'll do a quick look of it. And then Dead Cells Castlevania, which is very good, very good. Yep, I'm really enjoying what they've done there. It is cool. It's just cool to see Alucard and Death and all these other things done in the Dead Cell style, because the Dead Cell style rules. And the game
have the Castlevania music. I'm sorry.
It's got a lot of Castlevania music. Yes, it does.
Alone.
Yep, and it sounds great. I'm really enjoying it. Although I'm playing on Steam Deck, and it's doing this weird thing where if I keep it in sleep too long, I bring it back, and the sound is so desynced from the action. Like seconds pass, and then the sound will finally catch up. Or not even really catch up, but it'll just play that like seconds later. So I have to like reboot the game. That's really annoying. But still, when I'm playing it, it's a ton of fun. So really highly recommend that. And then yeah, I really want to play that new Sea of Thieves season. It looks really fun, but I haven't touched it yet. It came out today, so we were gonna do that for UPF on Friday, but now we're gonna let Rory have his Rory's choice since he's leaving. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, all right then. I think we did it. Do we have any more super chats here?
Give it a quick look. See. We'll update the chat poll.
Yeah. Beat Traven says, I forget if we read this. Are you guys still going to be friends after such a crushing defeat? We were never friends. This is all. Yeah.
Oh God. If we weren't getting money for this, I would never see this man.
That does happen, right? Like that. You like these people you see hanging out on like a screen. You're like, wow, they're friends. And then you find out that like they don't like each other or never hang out with each other. Like the God, what's that show that Jan worked for with those two people, with the people doing?
The Mythbusters,
the stunt people or whatever.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters, like the Mythbusters. Thank you, Justin. What if me and Jeff Mythbusters?
Can you not hear me?
Like, surprise, we don't like each other.
Can you hear me, Mike? Hello. Yes.
Sorry, I my thing muted it.
Yeah, it's okay, no problem. I was saying Mythbusters a bunch, and you couldn't hear me.
Sorry.
I was like, I'm going crazy.
It's not working.
Yes.
I think every once in a while I have to like tap it to it mutes for some reason.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it happens to be like I'll rub it against my shirt and the wheel will get pushed down, and now I can't hear myself. But that's how I know it's me.
It has a weird thing where if I push it all the way to max volume, it registers as 0 again.
Oh no!
Keep it just slightly off of that, or else I can't hear people.
All right. Well, I'm gonna press the button and start wrapping up the show, Mike. Right? No other super chats, right?
I'm gonna check one more time because I'm terrified of missing one.
Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the poll too.
Correct.
Okay. So the chat poll with 154 votes, 62% for the Mike box, 37% for the Grubb cube. On Twitter, it is pretty close. I still think that this is with 1,500 votes, so it would take like dozens of votes to overcome this still for me. But it's 50.2% for you, 49.8% for me. So just a 0.4% split there. But I mean, I think that's going to I think it's going to widen again here pretty soon. So a big win for Mikey. Mikey, you needed this one, right?
I did. That was the name of the episode. Mikey needs a win on YouTube anyways. There we go. We did it.
I mean, I don't know what you won. We got to get you a prize. Pride. Pride. There you go.
Well, I got to win that trip to Margaritaville still. Maybe we'll do, you know what we need to do next week? We haven't done a Hall of Fame in a while, too.
Yeah. We'll update a Hall of Fame. So look out for that on Tuesday night. Well, we'll put up a Hall of Fame so you can vote on which games should get inducted to the Game Mess Decides Hall of Fame. And then we'll probably also do we'll do a Who Wants to Go to Margaritaville. And then probably pretty soon here, we'll do a Mount Rushmore and stuff like that. Bring some of those old favorites back. All right, Mikey.
We'll wait a little bit till we do the 360 era draft, but it'll come.
Yeah. Someone mentioned in chat redoing this generation at some point with all the games we didn't pick. And this one's just deep enough that might be interesting.
That might work. That'd be interesting.
Yes. Maybe you can get to
it'd be kind of fun to do with even some of the other ones to see how far we have to dig.
Exactly, because like this generation, there's a ton. Some of those other ones be like, oh my god, I have to choose this game now.
Right.
Like that'd be interesting.
The PlayStation 2 alone. Yep. Although it might just turn into like picking lesser sequels. Like when I pick Jack 3, I know Jack 3 is good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we'd get beyond that pretty quickly, though. I think
we would get beyond that.
Yeah. Obviously, though, Halo Combat Evolved would be on the list and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, man, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Should I have gone with Halo Combat Evolved instead?
No. Well, maybe Halo 1 could have been somewhere. I think Third Strike was a good pick.
Yeah, I'm like trying to look up there. Maybe instead of God of War 2, like Halo Combat.
I was surprised how many people like God of War 2 is the boomer pick. Man, that was.
I was not anticipating that. Yeah, but I mean, all right, fair enough.
That one got yelled at about being a boomer pick almost more than anything. I was like,
yes,
I would like to know why that's the case. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it because it got rebooted, so people just don't think of that as God of War anymore?
Yeah, that must be it, which is just so weird because. Let me tell you, the new God of War is a fucking boomer game. Oh, that's a game. Sad dad bullshit. All right. Okay. Mike,
we're those fucks in God of War 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's hardcore, and that's Mountain Dew to me. Mike, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitch, Twitter, TokotoGamesBeat.com. I was on the voicemail dump truck today. We had almost too good of a time on voicemail dump truck.
That was a really good time.
A lot of fun.
That was all over the place, but you got to listen to it. It's really fun, everybody. I almost passed out laughing again. So,
you did. Yep. That's great. You got your love, but you could not hold it.
That George call was something special.
George from Florida.
George from Florida. Everybody listen to that voicemail dump truck. Check that out. It's on podcast feeds. It's on giantbomb.com if you want to find it there. But other than that, twitch.tv/Jeff Grubb. I'll be streaming some more Minish Cap soon. Bye, everybody. Till next time. Have a good one. Take care of yourself.
Bye. I'm the winner. It's